So you guys, as I've said from my previous video, so we're gonna follow up with that one. So this is Quirky Loves Rosie. Her name is Rosie. Apparently has some beef with Zachary Michael because of the Zachary Michael video that he did reacting to the screenshots that Rosie put up about her back and forth with Amber, like the previous video. And apparently this was a reaction to Zachary Michael's video. So we're gonna hear Rosie's side first, and then after her side, we're gonna go to Zachary Michael's side then. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. I just stumbled on it, and I'm sorry I don't have the chat. When I stumbled and she was still live, and when I went back to get the pertinent parts when she was talking about Zachary Michael, the chat wasn't really going to be aligning with what was actually going on. So I didn't bother including the chat on this one.
You are everything ALR wishes she could be. I don't know. Zach one day just got a stick up his ass about me. I don't know. I find it hilarious someone wants to be associated with Amber. Because the real deal is, like, if Amber was not a manipulative, narcissistic, abusive person, her life, like, the way, like, her content, the things that, like, the quote-unquote good parts of her are something that attracted a lot of people in the beginning, right? And I think it would be content that I would find relatable if she wasn't so awful.
So you guys imagine me stumbling in this, and all I hear is Zachary Michael got a stick stuck up his butt. I'm like, wait, what? What happened? What did I miss? So I have to roll back a little bit in the live stream to listen to what set this off, which is why I don't have the side chat to coincide with it. I couldn't do it. I was so mad about that because I also wanted to see what people were also saying in the chat. You know what I mean? But in a live stream, you cannot have them line up the way you want them to because it's still live. So the chat is still going to go on, even though you can go back in the video and get what you need to get. But yeah, this is the part that got me into it. I was like, wait, Zachary Michael has what up and what? What?
To me, like, that's kind of the core of what I find interesting about the Girl World reaction content. Well, then he shouldn't have been kikiing in my DMs about Tammy Slayton's late partner, Jamie. He should have been kikiing with me about that and wanting the tea then, and then flipping the script on me when I went back, acting the same way we had prior.
Ooh, it is part girls. I was like, ooh, this is juicy. But it took it forever to get into the damn thing. I was so mad. I'm like, come on, girl, hurry up. And as you can tell, I do have a sped up, but it just took it forever to get there. Oh, and I'm sorry, I am going to have to do these frequent stops because Rosie does not like people reacting to her. But I'm sorry, girl. This is tea. I gotta do it. This is tea.
And that's why I think they're manipulative and why I think they are not who they portray themselves to be. They're opportunistic.
And to be honest with you, it's like at this point, I was kind of like, what do you mean? Because coincidentally, I just happened to have Jody in the background. Was it yesterday? Jody was live. He was playing the screenshots between Rosie, this Rosie that was going back and forth with Amby. And Rosie was in there and asked Jody if she can come up so he could interview her. And I'm like, so you're calling them opportunistic, but you made sure that you were in Jody's live stream to get your woman up there to get interviewed. So yeah, that little statement kind of like rubbed me the wrong way.
Right. So let's say if the good parts were real Venom, then you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying though, right? I hope my point still stands or makes sense. I feel the same way Monk Fruit. She gaslights and acts like she's perfect and everyone bullies her when she's a bully too. Hold on, what did Monk Fruit say? I think it was reasonable to post it because Amber has been talking so nasty to people in DMs and then just acts like it didn't happen and frames it as people hating on her for no reason. So that's the other thing is Zach posts their DMs all the time. Like, posted them several times and people aren't telling him to not engage, you know what I mean? Zach was just annoyed he told you to not go online with the Tommy Feeder stuff and you did. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like...
Wait, Zach told her not to do what? Good thing I don't remember what Zachary said in his part because it make it good for reacting. So I'm like, wait. I mean, like, for real, I forgot what Zach said. We get there when we get there. So she told Zach about the screenshots between her and Amber, and he told her not to release it. Huh? Wait a minute, what?
It's like, I'm the one with the savior complex, but is Zach God? That's what I'm saying. I'm the one with the savior complex? Okay.
Oh, Zach, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're going to get it from Rosie, and I'm not sure yet what you did. Well, apparently, according to her, you told her not to release the DMs yet. That's far. This is what I got. But she's upset at you about something else. Let's keep on listening.
Oh, probably because in a members only live or in another live, I touched on it. So again, Zach has been waiting for the moment to launch that on me, and opportunistic. It's opportunistic. Zach feels like you scooped him with your own drama. What? Yeah. By the way, Abby, it's great to see you. Sorry, I'm really like entrenched in this conversation.
Okay, so that's far. Rosie feels like she got a short end of the stick from Zach. I'm confused. So Zach told her not to release the screenshots, but she did. Now she's upset that Zach talked to... I don't know, you guys. I don't know. We'll try to make sense of this stuff together.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't watch it, to protect myself, Dory. I had a couple points brought up to me by some friends, but I'm not gonna let them rile me up. Oh, because Zach did like a 180 on me after I sent the screenshots to him. And I was under the impression from those prior experiences that was the dynamic that we had. Had that not been the case, I wouldn't have done it. I profusely apologized when I realized I made Zach uncomfortable. And when Zach, a while ago in one of their other videos, posted our DMs, he excluded my apologies. He did not show full context. He did not show the full DMs. He did not show me going, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I would never mean to make you uncomfortable. Like, a very genuine, authentic a very genuine, authentic apology. And,
Oof. Okay. So what I'm getting is Rosie has been sending him screenshots in the past, but Zach wasn't biting, I guess. But she still stayed friends with him. And then Rosie, this is what I'm getting, sent him the screenshot about the latest happening between her and Amber. And he didn't do anything with it. So she's upset about that? Huh.
I was like a really big fan of his. And like genuinely, and he just like flipped on me. And I was like, okay, this is like fucking weird, but okay. And he's just kind of had it out for me ever since. And
okay, I could be wrong. We didn't listen to the whole thing yet. Okay, there's some understanding. She sent him post or whatever screenshots in the past, hoping that he would use them, and he never did. So that upset her. And she took that parasocial a little bit too close to heart. And she must have sent him these screenshots for him to use to be the first one to break the story, I guess. And he didn't go for that. And she felt upset about that. But also, as a content creator, she also has to understand that Zach has to protect himself. Because, okay, great, you send him the screenshots. What if those screenshots were fake? You know what I mean? It could be a setup. So I don't understand yet why she's upset.
I don't feel like what I did was like a super egregious act. It was a mistake. Clearly it made him uncomfortable. He didn't like it. They were upset. I was like, okay, clearly I misread the situation because, by the way, I struggle with socializing and maintaining friendships for reasons that if I cite, people will throw back in my face, but it's the reality of the situation. I am neurodivergent and I fuck up. So I apologized and owned it in that moment because I would never want to make someone uncomfortable. But he acted like that didn't happen. And then just went full mean girl. Exactly, Lala. Like, and I didn't even, like, when that whole situation actually played out in real time, I like broke down and was really upset about it for like a hot second because I had this perceived idea of Zach being this like great person and all these things that a lot of his fans think of him, that he's not. He has a persona. Yeah, I mean, Jamie's a big Zion fan. I'm not surprised by this. I don't think Jamie's particularly a fan of me anymore. Maybe, I don't know. I've seen you say some stuff, but you're entitled to your opinion. And I mean, if I'm wrong, I don't mean to speak for you. Bro, Zach is so fucking fake and he's messy. You've argued with Zach before. Oh. LMAO, Rosie, we are 2 peas in a pod. Thank you, random user. Oh, I mean, girls, you can't sit with us. My opinion has definitely changed on him, yeah. You can't rewrite history. Thiago, is that about me or Zach? You don't dislike me? Okay, I apologize. I didn't mean to speak for you then. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to make sense of it. And that's valid, Jamie. I get it. Like, especially when 2 people you like don't like each other. It's like a weird place to be in, right? Or, I'm not, maybe you're neutral of me. Maybe you don't like me. I don't know. I don't want to assume. But.
Whew. I hope Zachary really fully clears this whole entire thing up because... Okay, so far what I'm getting about is that she's upset about situation number 1. When she sent him some tea about Tammy Slayton's husband that passed away. Is that the one? Tammy Slayton? Yeah. And Zachary did not use it. Is that what she's upset about? That's what I'm getting. That is exactly what I'm getting. She's upset about. That was strike number 1 for Zachary Michael. So strike number 2 for Zachary Michael was him not using the second tea that she sent him about Amber. That's what I'm getting.
I don't watch him. I need to give up Girl World. I don't think of you as a girl. Thank you, Meg. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's just like, I really enjoyed Zach. And so the way all of that got twisted was, it was hard on me. Oh no, I'm not getting emotional. Fuck that. Fuck them. That's old hurt. But it actually hurt. Like, and that's why you shouldn't put parasocial relationships on a pedestal, because then real feelings get involved. So
yes, Rosie, that's fantastic advice. I always tell people that. And the other thing though is Rosie keeps on saying she's not part of Girl World, but no offense, Rosie, I have nothing against you. Every time there's some blowout drama, you always find a way to insert yourself. Like Foodie Beauty, it was a couple months ago, something was going on. Everybody was on and on about Foodie Beauty. She found her way to insert herself into that one. She wanted everybody to talk about her. But when people started reacting to her, she got upset about that. Now Amber, some stuff is going on with Amber. Somehow she finds her way into that mess. And then when people start talking about her, she gets upset. I'm sorry, hon, you are part of Girl World. As much as you like to deny it, you are part of Girl World.
don't meet your heroes. Like, fucking for real, man.
Oh, Lord, please don't tell me that you saw Zach as your hero. Please don't tell me that you see any of these reactors as your heroes. Oh, my God. I mean, I understand that she was hurt. She thought that they were friends. I get that, but oh, jeez.
Contrary to popular belief, I didn't want to, like, have Zach be constantly covering me or anything like that because I knew that would be a bad thing. He covers Girl World. I was excited about the Twitch React because that's different. And even then, it's just like, I guess I was just stupid to think that I was viewed any differently.
Oh, okay, so was semi-correct. You are upset that Zach started covering you. Interesting. So you were okay with him covering you as long as it stayed on Twitch. Now you're upset that his latest video, he is covering you on YouTube, and you feel like more eyes are going to be on you since he covered you on YouTube this time around instead of on Twitch. Understood.
Then, Amber Lynn. Hey, Jeremy. I don't hate anyone online. I just don't have any emotions about people I watch. I enjoyed your content, but have not watched lately for reasons have nothing to do with Zach. Okay. Zach is super weird. I could never get into any of his videos. Oh, I was really, like, a part of his community in terms of, like, watching his content. To be frank, you did say on multiple occasions Girl World is super toxic and a waste of time. and it's like his job, so he took it personal. That was after everything, though. I mean, girl world is complicated. Yeah, I can't please everyone. Facts. Of course it hurt. I'm honestly sorry you had to go through that, especially when you think of someone as... I didn't think of him as a friend. It was just more like a parasocial connection, you know?
You guys, this is the part I'm not understanding. She likes Zach, regardless what she says. She thought they were buddies. She thought they were friends. She's upset that Zach is covering her. What I don't understand is you don't want to be covered. You've went to other reaction channels that tried to cover you, asking them not to cover you, blah, blah, blah. You were okay with Zach because you thought you were buddy. Why were you upset the first time he covered you, whether it was on Twitch or YouTube? The first time we did that, why weren't you upset with him? That's my question. Is it because the second time around that he covered you on YouTube, he had to put out a disclaimer how you two came friendly with each other? Is that what really upset you? I'm still trying to wrap my head around this whole thing.
I mean, I'm not upset that he covered it. It's the way that he did it, yeah. Because it became like... the video became about me. Like, I didn't watch the part that, frankly, I knew was just going to piss me off because I knew the agenda. I knew the agenda before I even saw it. It's the way that he went into in the last 10 minutes of this video. And that's the minutes I didn't watch. Yeah. That was, if he was just about Amberlynn, if he was just about covering the reaction of it all, if he was just about covering the tea of it all, those 10 minutes would have happened. He just felt like he had some exclusive scoop or tea.
Listen, this is entertaining for me to edit, but it's also driving me crazy because I'm not fully understanding. Okay, so she's upset about the last 10 minutes of Zachary Michael's coverage, and we're about ready to get into that in a bit. Here, that's what she's really upset about. She felt like she was the main character of the story of the video, and she really didn't want to be the main character of the story of the video, but you kind of like were, you know, you're going back and forth with Amber. So I don't know, we'll slowly get in that to Zach. We're getting that to his video,
you know. Thank you, Ella. It's rough when it's a neurodivergent type of misunderstanding that ruins a relationship or a budding friendship, even if it's just over Twitter DMs, to be honest. Yeah, it was Instagram DMs. I know that's a nitpick, but just FYI. But because we had initially like followed each other on Instagram. Well, I followed him first, and then he followed me back, to be clear.
All right, now we're going to be switching gears over to Zachary Michael's video to get his side of the story. So, Dramageddon in Girl World. Here we go.
Has popped up between Amberlynn and another girl on the internet, Quirky Love Rosie, a YouTuber extraordinaire, person who has done a lot of speaking out about feederism and the dangers of feederism, and has made a lot of changes in her life in regards to that, has had a lot of feelings in the past about Miss Tommy Salami, and they got into a little bit of drama. And so I want to go over some of that today and really highlight the ways that Amberlynn is crazy. It's just like, girl, get a grip. Girl, calm down. Girl, please be serious. And also share a little bit about what I know about Miss Quirky Love Rosie.
Okay, I see. And this is the beginning how Zachary Michael started the video, and I am gonna be skipping towards the last 10-minute mark, so I'll be skipping the rest of the reaction about Amber and Rosie, so to give you a heads up. So this is the setup that Rosie did not like in Zachary's video. Got it.
Because I think that that's also important here, and I don't want it to take away from just like how unhinged Amberlynn's messages to Rosie are, but I do think some folks should be aware about Miss Rosie and her own involvement in mess and desire to be a part of mess. And so I don't want that to take away from Amberlynn's mess, but I think it's an important conversation for us to have, you know? I think it's important to document just like Rosie's involvement in all of this as well.
So, kind of like I told you guys when I was reacting to Rosie, when I remember she could try to insert herself in the whole beauty mess. She was trying really hard, in my opinion, to get into girl world, and people shut the door on her. She seemed pretty, down to earth, to normal. To me, I didn't see anything worth covering. Or maybe I didn't watch long enough, so I see why Rosie got upset. Okay, let's continue listening to Zach. Oh wait, hold up. It's also editing this. I just remembered something. Yes, I did make a video about Rosie when something was going on with my Canadian bacon. She tried to jump in. I was like, let me see. I made it one video and then I went back to watch her streams. They were just like normal streams. You know what I mean? Live streams was nothing really to cover. Yeah, I did make a one video on her about that because she really did want to jump headfirst into girl world, but she did not want to be the one being covered. I remember that.
Because honestly, I think Rosie's enjoying this right now because she's getting a lot of positive regard. But in the past, when she's tried to dabble in the old girl world content, she didn't like it as much. So we'll get into that. But let me just set the groundwork for you all, okay? Let me set the groundwork for you. Made a new post on her, at the time, public Instagram account, Provoked. Provoked. And I say at the time public because shortly after this, after people were in her comments pointing out like, girl, just make your Instagram account private, she in fact made her Instagram. I guess what ended up happening is Miss Amber Lynn Reed said, let me go and let Rosie know what's up. And so Rosie said, she is fuming that I followed an account that I knew would be private. And I was right. Tommy went private about an hour before these messages. What I will say about that, okay, real quick, what I'll say about Rosie following this account because she knew that Tommy was gonna go private. One part of that implies that, she loves the mess and she wants to be a part of the mess and she wants to be able to keep up with the mess even if Tommy goes private. That's one thing to just like keep up here, store in your brain. The other part of this though is that Tuesday, January 28th, I was streaming on Twitch and I hadn't yet, or I had that morning, posted my video about the breakup, right? And so some people were asking me some questions about the breakup and stuff like that in my Twitch chat before we got to the reaction stuff. And I was looking at Tommy's account and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I follow 5 people who also follow Tommy. One of them being Amber Lynn Reed, another one being Willow Davis, another one being Megan from the 1,000 Pound Best Friends, another one being a certain NBC News journalist that may or may not have interviewed both me and Amber Lynn, and then
Oh yeah, whatever happened with that article? I forgot about that article. Is that person even real? Wasn't that story supposed to be out before Christmas? It never came out. Is this person even real? I forgot about that article. Interesting.
Guess who the 5th one was? Corky Love Rosie. And I mentioned all of this in a Twitch live stream. It's so funny to me, Corky Love Rosie is like, I don't want to be in girl world anymore. I just clicked on Tommy Salami's Instagram to go make sure I knew what I was talking about when I said that she deleted all the pictures with Amber Lynn. And it told me, I know 5 people that follow Thomas Salamis. One being Amber Lynn, one being Willow Davis, one being Megan from 1,000 Pound Besties, one being the journalist that interviewed me and Amber Lynn, and then the 5th one is Quirky Love Rosie. And it's just like, girl, you want to be in girl world so bad. You want to talk about girl world so bad.
Oh, okay. I see. So Rosie was okay with this kind of reaction as long as it stayed on Twitch. But since Zach brought this to YouTube, she's not happy about it. Whether it sounded mean or not, he still said it, Rosie. It doesn't matter whether it's on Twitch or YouTube. He still said it. It should have been pissed off the first time. You're only mad now because he put this on YouTube. Like I thought. Interesting.
I know you do, Diva. So I'm not saying I have anything to do with any of this, but knowing Amberlynn Reed, it wouldn't surprise me if that was how Amberlynn became aware of Rosie following Tommy Salami. Let's talk a little bit about Miss.
Okay, you guys, like I said, I wasn't interested in this reaction between Amberlynn and Rosie. I was more interested about the whole debacle between Zach and Rosie. So if you want to see his reaction between Rosie and Amberlynn, it's on his channel. This is the part I was mostly interested in.
Rosie, because my origin story with Miss Rosie is that probably a year or two ago, a couple years ago, I was in Vegas for my birthday. And I know the people that got so irritated every time I brought up Vegas are just so excited to hear me talking about Vegas again, because there was like a 2-year time frame where I went to Vegas 4 different times. And a couple years ago, I went there for my birthday with a friend. And while I was there, during some of our downtime, I was just scrolling through my Instagram DMs, and I was looking. Oh, which, by the way, speaking of Instagram DMs, this is probably a little bit all over the place, but I do love that Amberlynn's like, I don't spend any time on Instagram, but I absolutely saw that you were commenting on my ex's posts and following her. Like, just really unhinged behavior. But anyways, I was looking through my Instagram DMs while I was in Vegas, and I have my DMs set up. I didn't set them up this way, so I guess it just naturally happens. But like, naturally, people who message me who have more followers show up at the top of my message requests. And Rosie has had a following for a long time prior to ever being on YouTube. Part of that is because she used to engage in like adult feederism content, and she had a huge following on Instagram. She used to just post these.
Yeah, which is very interesting because, yeah, Tammy, I need to stop calling that woman Tammy. Emily also follows Rosie. They both follow each other. So it makes me wonder if Emily saw Rosie's feeder content and that's why she followed her. You guys, there's too many kinks out there. I cannot keep up. This is going to be another video, but yeah. Anyways, let's continue with Zach. So much I want to see about the whole kink thing. Let's continue with Zach.
Really long Instagram stories just constantly. And then it was when she left feederism behind that she went over to YouTube to try to start just like vlogging her life and having an online income that way. So all of that to say, she had messaged me and I saw that she had a lot of followers. I was intrigued because she had a lot of followers, and we did some messaging back and forth. To be honest, my initial thoughts about Rosie is that she was nice, she was lovely. There were some times where she was also sending me some screenshots of things from Caleb, the late husband of Tammy Slayton. She was sending me some of.
Okay, remember you guys earlier on Rosie's part of the story, she did mention Caleb, which is one of the Slayton sisters' husband that passed away shortly after they got married. Okay, so this is the tie-in. Just a reminder there.
His posts from Facebook. To be honest, I don't think I ever used any of that. I think I might have referenced some of those posts in videos, but I never used them because I, a long time ago, decided that like going to the Facebooks of people who were adjacent to people I covered was just like not something I wanted to do anymore. So we had gone back and forth quite a bit. I had talked to her quite a bit. I feel like I had a...
Okay, so I'm getting it. So even though that kind of like glossed over it, so Rosie sent him screenshots about the whole Caleb set thing. It came from Facebook. He used to use that. So what I'm getting, what she's really upset about is that she feels like she brought him a story and he did not properly credit her on where he got the story. Is that what I'm getting? Even though it's not really delving into this, just remembering what Rosie said because she referenced Caleb and the story she was giving him. Okay, now it's making sense.
Decent rapport with her. And I also, for a long time, really enjoyed watching her content on YouTube. Like, she was doing a lot of content about how she was going to therapy. She tried semaglutide or some kind of GLP-1. Mounjaro. She was doing Mounjaro. She was on and off Mounjaro for a while. She was doing healthy weight loss related content. She was talking about how she was working through her trauma from feederism, talking about how she didn't want to do any like eating on camera because it felt too close to feederism. I was just really intrigued. I enjoyed her content. content. So then what I need you to do is to fast forward, because that happened in that was probably 2023 that I first started talking to her. And I feel like we had like a good, decent rapport back and forth every once in a while. Like, I didn't really have any intentions of ever covering her on my channel. I did do one reaction on Twitch because she made these air fryer hot dog chips that were really funny. She actually even was so excited about me reacting to it and reacted to my reaction in a live stream on her channel. But anyways, fast forward to this past summer, 2024, okay? Things are popping off in Amberlynn's life. People find out that she's dating Tommy, that Tommy has this history of feeder content on the internet. And simultaneously, we're also finding out all the details about Erica and Brittany. Well, when the Tommy news came out, obviously Rosie has a lot of connection to the feeder community on the internet. And so Rosie's very concerned. Rosie DMs all this stuff and information to Amberlynn. And then weirdly enough, comes immediately into my DMs and says, I just want to share this just between you and me. Like, please don't share this with anybody else. And then sends me screenshots of all of the conversations she had between her and Amberlynn, and then was frustrated because Amberlynn seemingly didn't care. And then Rosie was going on and on and on and on about how, like, she wasn't sure if she wanted to talk about it publicly. And at that point, Rosie had recently started talking about and been talking about on her channel how she didn't like the comparisons that were made between her and Amberlynn. And so I gave her some really sound advice at the time, which was, hey, you said you'd keep this conversation between you and Amberlynn, and also you've been saying that, like, you don't want connections made between you and Amberlynn on your channel, that you want to stand alone and separate from Amberlynn on your channel. I think it's probably a bad idea to talk about this in a video. And I told her, I think...
Phew! Sweet Jesus, the story's finally coming together. So, she was being concerned about Amberlynn and sending her DMs and saying, okay, let's keep this between us. At the same time, she was running to Zachary Michael and say, this is what's going on, bloom, 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 bloom. Okay, keep this between us. But she wasn't really keeping anything between anybody. Okay, so now it makes even bigger impact on why Amby was so mad at Rosie, because she felt like Rosie tried to get it in the DM because Amby did it. Okay, because apparently Rosie was bombarding Amberlynn with screenshots and her knowledge being feederism, telling her to get away from Tommy, blah blah blah. And now I see why Amberlynn is upset, even though it's this whole thing is messy, you guys. So, anyways, not here nor there. So, basically what it sounds like is Zachary did actually give her some sound advice. That's what it sounds like. He gave her some sound advice. Oh, God, what is so messy. That's why I love it.
If you make this public video about it, you're going to go back on the boundaries that you set for yourself when it comes to making content about Amberlynn and Chantal. Rosie, of course, did not take my feedback on that, and Rosie actually did make content about it. And let me also say, because I just was rereading through some of the messages, Rosie talked about how, like, triggering some of this was for her, how mentally exhausting it was to confront a lot of the feeder stuff again for her. And I said, you know, if this feels like it's something that's so mentally taxing to you, like, I think that's even a better reason to not, like, bring this into YouTube.
You guys, wait a minute. I just realized something. So Rosie basically is acting like Zachary broke her trust or something when he gave her sound advice about keeping it off of YouTube if it triggers her. But she continued and turned into content and made content about it, about the whole Amberlynn and being with Emily, being a feeder and blah blah. She's the one who made content about it, even though Zach said it's best if you don't talk about it. So why are you upset since you opened the door to talk about it on your own channel? Now he finds it fitting to talk about it, that he's talking about it. You opened the door to this whole thing. Make it make sense. Am I wrong, you guys? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I'm looking at it.
Into this community that you've created, where you've set boundaries for yourself, where you're trying to separate yourself from Amberlynn Reid. So anyways, all of that then leads into my next point, which is the stuff with Erica and Brittany was going on. And if you don't remember, Brittany messaged me, and I did not take any of it seriously, but Brittany messaged me about how Amberlynn was having an affair with Erica, like a full 9 months before any of this came out publicly. And so in the video where I was addressing the DMs that Brittany sent me, I also just talked about in general how frustrating and annoying it can be to have people think that they can just DM me and have me, one, believe anything that they say, and two, want me to be some keeper of information, want me to hold on to secrets for them. And in that video, I used Rosie as an example. Came up recently, just this week, because a YouTuber named Quirky Love Rosie, she came out with this big long live stream about feederism regarding Amberlynn's partner and this, that, the other. Before she did any of that, she sent me all the screenshots of her conversation with Amberlynn, which, by the way, she said to Amberlynn, I'm going to keep this conversation between us, and then immediately DM me the screenshots. And I immediately said to Rosie, because she was like, Zach, I'm telling you all this because I know you'll keep this in between the two of us. And I said immediately, don't ever DM me with stuff that you want me to keep private, because that's so unfair to me. It's so difficult to sit here and...
Yeah, that's insane. Especially after she says all this and turns around and makes a video about it, and then runs back to him again about another situation and expects him to be quiet about, but she wants to tell the story in her own way. When he opens his mouth, she's upset about it. It's like, what's the difference? You already showed him being quiet is not going to do anything, because the first time he did that, you ran off and made a video about it. You know what I mean, you guys? I don't know, man.
And be a keeper of secrets for people. And interestingly enough, it was a day or two later, Rosie decided she was done with Girl World. So she tweeted this, but she also, I think, put this on her community tab on YouTube as well. But she tweeted whenever this happened, shortly after I called her out for being in my DMs about Amberlynn. And she said, I'm doing what I should have done ages ago, currently cleaning up YouTube interests. I have a couple people I've kept on, but depending on how it goes, I may reevaluate. This week has been too much. There was a time where the content served a purpose for me. That's long past. And then there's just a brief screenshot here of the different things that she's muted on Twitter so they don't pop up. Funnily enough, she's still tweeting about Amberlynn, but some of the examples are #FoodieBeauty, #GirlWorld, ALR, Amberlynn Reed, Breezy, Chantal.
You guys, I know I'm definitely not crazy, not that kind of crazy, not full batshit crazy, but correct me if I'm wrong. Shouldn't we just listen to her say in the previous clip, say that she doesn't want to be part of Girl World? But here she is on Twitter tagging everybody in Girl World. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense.
Foodie Beauty, Girl. She also goes on to say, I don't want to come across like I think people are bad for staying interested in this content. Nothing like that. I have just had this feeling for a while. I've wanted to walk away but did not know how. Felt too hard, more overwhelming to try and clean up my feeds. But honestly, I scrolled my timeline for the first time in a long time and felt free, happy, lots of nice art, my other interests shining. Girl World is so toxic. It helped me see some of the errors of my old ways, but I've had this feeling for a while now that I've been ignoring. It doesn't make me feel good, ever. It's like a really shitty, messy reality TV show. A massive time suck, and for what? To watch two really shit-ass humans succumb to their demise? To feel better about myself in comparison? I'm honestly over it. So after the disgust actions on the part of Erica, being a Girl World member or by association with her wife, willing to do such disgusting psychological abuse for a laugh? A goof? Disgusted isn't even the word. It broke my heart. Not for ALR, but that humans like Erica exist. I said in my last live where I found this shit out that I might just delete my Twitter because I didn't know how to handle it. I kept up with the developments, but I'm out. I had shit to say when it came to the feed.
Ah, this is so serving. This is the tea. This is the trauma. This is the moment. This is the now. Okay, I know I'm being ridiculous, but come on, you guys. Come on. So, I don't know. Is she less boring now since she has drama going? Should I like start poking a lot more on the channel to see what's going on? What do you guys think? Because she, over a year ago, was it a year ago? Maybe a couple months ago, she has turned out to be quite interesting. I forgot about her until now. I'm enjoying this messiness. I'm enjoying it.
Of it all, but staying in as a spectator while also being a creator just isn't working for me. It keeps bleeding into my lives because I can't help myself from answering the questions asked. But I've unfollowed and unsubbed from a lot of people I like, and some I thought I liked before I saw their true colors. I'm on a bit of a thread rant, but I just wanted it to be known that I've been opinionated, snarky, etc. And I may still see things from time to time, but as of right now, I'm taking a dramatic step back. I meant it when I said I didn't want to align with certain content. And I thought I could juggle being a viewer and also not making it a part of my content, and I've been struggling with that in recent history. My eyes were open today to what length people will go for internet clout and beef, and I want nothing to do with it. Peace and love. And listen, that's not to say that, Rosie can't change her mind. I certainly, once upon a time, took a break from Amberlynn content. I certainly get it. I certainly think if you need a break, do it. But it feels just very interesting to me that she has gone to such great lengths. I mean, she's made entire videos about it on her channel, about not wanting to be compared to Amberlynn and this, that, the other, wanting to separate herself from Girl World. In fact, also in a members-only live stream, which has now been deleted, and unfortunately nobody got the clips, but they did tell me about it. She actually went on a rant about me, too, and talking about how she felt like I wasn't the person that she thought I was and this, that, the other, which she's welcome to have that opinion.
Well, Zachary, as of today, January 30th, 2024, she feels the same way about you, except for now you have to stick up your butt. Her words, not mine. That's what she said. She's highly disappointed in you. You're a user, and you have to stick up your butt. So, yeah, the sentiment is still the same. Sorry, I meant to say January 30th, 2025. I'm still used to saying 2024, okay? Give me some leeway. Jeez.
But it all came right after I, publicly critiqued her for sliding into my DMs, okay? So this is the kind of thing I just want to point out, is that Rosie loves to talk about Girl World when people agree with her, when people are on her side. And to be honest, I didn't even think really that her DMing me, all that stuff was a huge character flaw. It's something I would have continued to look past. I would have continued to enjoy her content. But it's all of her actions and behavior since, because the reality is that, yes, you can take a break from content and come back to it, but she never really has. She, in fact, does frequently talk about Chantal and Amberlynn in her live streams. And that's really just one example of the ways that she, contradicts boundaries and things like that she sets up for herself. For instance, when I first started watching her, she had big rules about not eating on camera because it felt too close to feederism to her. But now, all she does is live stream where she cooks and she eats. It's the majority of her content. And it's also interesting because she made a big deal about, not wanting to make a whole video about these messages from Amberlynn because she didn't want to monetize it. But she did, in fact, talk about all of this in a live stream yesterday. And there were a few things that I saw in some clips on Twitter from her live stream that I thought were interesting. One of the things I discovered is that on her Discord that she has for her community, they have a Girl World discussion channel.
Oh, Kimmy, in our Discord, we have a Girl World gossip channel.
So again, it's hard to believe that she's really, separating herself from Amberlynn's content. In one clip, she defends herself by saying that she is purposely, chronically single. But that's not quite the truth, Ellen.
Y'all know I'm chronically single on purpose. I followed because I knew that account was gonna go private, and an hour before Amber went off on me, the account went private. And that's really interesting to me because there was this guy in her live streams once upon a time named David. I'll just take this down. I'll repeat it later. Y'all know David.
Oof. Zachary Michael is being messy and shady and pissy. I'm here for it. I am here for it because he's dropping some receipts. I had no idea that all of this was happening in the background. And normally, I don't really dig for that kind of stuff. I just like it to fall in my lap. I mean, when I mean fall in my lap, I mean through my recommended, that kind of fall in my lap, because when people start bringing you stuff, that's when it gets like this. It gets messy.
In the chat? Yeah, that's the motherfucker I'm talking about. Hi, David.
We're under the assumption that he's going to tune in sooner or later.
You want to get involved in my community and make this a whole fucking thing and lie about everything you are? Hi, David.
And there's also a guy named Mayhem.
So Mayhem, I don't know how to say this. If you're like for real, I mean, you can. I've got a bunch of social media platforms on my Linktree. You can reach out to me on one of your established profiles and we can chat and I can see, but it's gonna take a lot more than a anonymous YouTube comment. And I don't really. I have trust issues, so just gotta keep that 100 with you. He's cute, Vicky. T. But the vibes are more important than looks to me. So.
And both of these guys were guys that were like chatting her up in her live stream. And both of those potential relationships just turned out bad for her. So I don't know. I guess I just wanted to share all of that to say that certainly appreciate Rosie for the entertainment and seeing just how sad, miserable, and unhinged Amberlynn is. Getting jealous over somebody that clearly isn't even remotely interested in Tommy. But I did just want to let you all know a little bit about Miss Rosie herself as well. Anyways, this ended up being a much longer video than I was anticipating.
Okay, so now my question is, what made Zach unleash all of this about Rosie? What did Rosie do to make him unleash all of this information? Do they have a fallout through the DMs that we don't know anything about yet? Is that what it is? Or has she been doing live streams and taking jabs as Zachary Michael and his people went back and telling him? Because like I said, I only stuck around when I heard her talk about Zachary, and I went back a little bit on the live stream to hear exactly what happened. So what caused the fallout? Or maybe the fallout was that Zachary realized that as much as Rosie tries to say she doesn't want to be part of Girl World, she doesn't like the drama, she intentionally somehow steps right into the drama. Always finds herself right smack in the middle of Girl World. I don't know, you guys. Let me know about what you think about this whole thing. That's all I got for now, and this memberships in the channel, and I'll be bombarding you with videos because I missed a couple of days. But anyways, that's all I got for now. I will catch you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Later.